Hi guys, Sam from Everything PSP here. Today we have an exciting video, customizing a PSP Street for Phoenix, one of my subscribers. This is the first commission and hopefully I'll get more commissions in future to show you guys on this channel. To start with, we're going to be customizing the buttons and joystick cap with new pink ones that she has chosen. Here's a list of things you'll need. Any buttons for the PSP 2000 or 3000 series will work in the PSP Street. First, we'll begin by removing the screws from the faceplate. There are 4 on the back and 2 on the top. Take care not to lose these as they are really small. If you don't have a magnet like I've got on my repair mat, it would be a good idea to have a small container handy to keep the screws in. Also note the 2 screws on the top are a different size to the ones on the back, so keep them separate. Now, using your fingers, carefully pry the top of the faceplate away from the main body. Don't pull it all the way, just enough so the top side is loose, as shown here. Now continue to remove the faceplate by gently working around the edges. This is a little hard to demonstrate on camera, but take your time and don't force anything too much. Now for the tricky bit. Using careful force, pry the base of the faceplate away from the shell. Be really careful not to break any of the retaining tabs off the faceplate when you do this, but bear in mind that it will take a bit of force to pull it off. The main thing to watch out for is not to tug on the ribbon cable that attaches the home bar to the shell, as there isn't much slack to work with. Now you can gently fold down the faceplate like opening a book and rest it on your working surface. If you don't have a repair mat like mine, I would suggest using a microfiber cloth or soft t-shirt to rest the PSP on while you work on it. Using some contact cleaner on a cotton swab, remove any dirt or debris from inside the case that may have built up over the years. This PSP is in pretty good condition, so I'm just going to clean the inside of the screen cover. Another note is just to be really careful not to touch the LCD screen. Now it's time to remove the buttons and pads. The D-pad is separate to its rubber backing, and the face buttons are attached to theirs as shown here. Once that's done, it's time to install your new custom buttons. Take care to line up the D-pad. You will notice a notch in the plastic, so it can only go in one way. Also, make sure the rubber pads are pushed snugly onto their respective locating posts. The joystick cap is probably the easiest step to do. Gently pull the old one off and push the new one on. Now it's time to put it all back together. Line up the bottom of the faceplate first and make sure you don't snag the ribbon cable. This is a bit fiddly and hard to show on camera, but take your time and you should be alright. Before you put the screws back in, I always find it a good idea to quickly inspect the PSP to make sure that it's assembled correctly and also to test the buttons are all working okay. Just a quick note, she decided to go back to the black joystick for aesthetic reasons, so you may notice the colour of the joystick change through the video as I selected the best footage to demonstrate each step of the process. Okay, so it's tested all okay, and now we're going to reinstall the screws. I like to tighten them up in a cross pattern, but it's probably not necessary. Now we are going to give the whole PSP a good clean with some contact cleaner on a cotton pad. You'd be surprised just how much muck and dirt you'll notice once you finish this step. Using a generous amount of cleaner on a swab, you can get into the logo on the back and clean out any grime that's in there. And just check again for any areas that you missed or might need further attention. This step is optional, but I find it really helps to restore the original luster to the plastic of the console. Use a small amount of black car detailing spray and massage it into the plastic areas of the PSP. Buff it out with a cloth and you'll see the difference in depth and shine almost immediately. This is another good final step to remove any residual dirt and grime from the surface of the PSP. Another quick one here, I always like to add a lanyard to the PSP that I'm working on. And there we have it, a customized PSP Street. But we're not finished yet. The next step is to install custom firmware and some games. Here's a list of things you'll need. There are a ton of other videos on YouTube explaining this process in more depth, but for now I'll just give you the abridged version. The first step is to format the memory card on your PSP. I've covered this whole process in other videos on my channel, which you can find here. Connect your PSP to your computer via USB cable or use a card reader like this. Copy across the official and custom firmware update files into the game folder. Update the PSP to 6.61 if you aren't on it already, otherwise you can skip this step. This is my favourite part of the process, watching the progress bar and knowing that the PSP is about to get a whole new lease of life. Now we've confirmed it's on 6.61, it's time to install the custom firmware. Press X to install and X again to reboot into custom firmware. Make sure to keep the fast recovery file on the memory stick in case you need to reboot. Now you can copy across all your downloaded games, homebrew, themes, and emulators. And here we are running the PS5 theme from my 100 sub video. The link's in the corner here if you want to download this theme. And let's take a look at some of the games I've put on here for Phoenix. We went back and forth during the process a lot, getting feedback on what games to put in, and it was a really fun experience for me. Getting to make something for a fellow enthusiast, and over the course of the build we became friends. If you're interested in getting your own PSP customized, feel free to get in touch with me and I can help you through the process, or you can send me your PSP and I'll make a video like this and send it back to you once it's been completed. And to wrap things up, here's a quick before and after shot showing what we've made. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and thank you Phoenix for sending me your PSP. I've had a lot of fun with this project, and I look forward to doing more stuff like this in future. Please, if you haven't already, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Everything PSP.